My name is Haley. I was 25, and I swear that night is carved into my bones like frostbite that never melts. Rain was slamming so hard against the windshield it sounded like metal pellets, and my heart was pounding at the exact same speed. My brother, Easton, was in the back seat laughing with his phone like he was watching a comedy special. Mom kept glancing at me through the mirror with that irritated, you exist wrong face she always reserves just for me. Dad gripped the steering wheel like he was strangling it. Please subscribe to our channel and tell us in comments from where are you watching this video. The storm outside was black and violent, and the lightning ripped through the sky every few seconds like camera flashes. We were supposed to be going home after a family dinner, but actually it wasn't even dinner. It was an intervention attempt. For me. Because Easton lost $8,000 on some illegal sports bet, and apparently I was the criminal for refusing to cover it. You have a stable job, Dad barked. You make decent money. Pay it. I'm not paying his gambling debt, I answered. He's not my responsibility. Mom whipped around and pointed her finger at me like she was about to stab my face. He is family. He is blood. You are the older child. You support the family. He is 23, I said calmly. I'm not his ATM. Lightning exploded across the sky and the car shook like the storm was punching us. Easton smirked. Just pay it, Haley. They already decided. That sentence. They already decided. My fate was apparently chosen without me. Dad slammed the brakes in the middle of the empty country road, rain hammering the roof so loud it felt like hail. He turned to me slowly. You think you're better than this family? I think I finally care about myself, I whispered. Mom opened her door. Get out. I froze. You're kidding. Dad yanked my door open and rain blasted into my face like needles. No, trash who refuses responsibility doesn't sit in our car. Easton laughed into his phone like he was screen recording my humiliation for his future entertainment. Dad grabbed my arm and dragged me into the storm. My hair drenched instantly, my shoes filled with water. Lightning lit up the entire road in a horrifying white flash. Mom screamed above the thunder, "Let lightning decide if trash lives!" And they actually shoved me backward into the middle of the road. I screamed their names. They slammed the doors. I watched their taillights vanish into the downpour like they couldn't wait to get away from the infection of me. I was standing alone in a violent thunderstorm, shaking, soaked, terrified, heart pounding so violently I thought I'd faint. I wasn't thinking revenge yet. I was thinking survival. I walked for miles until a trucker finally stopped and drove me to the nearest gas station. I sat in the bathroom, soaked, shivering, hands trembling, staring at myself in the mirror under flickering fluorescent lights. I realized something in that gas station mirror. It wasn't that they didn't love me. It was that they enjoyed breaking me, and something in me snapped quietly but sharp. For the first time in my life, I wasn't scared of losing them anymore. I was scared of what I'd become if I kept letting them win. I dried myself with paper towels, borrowed a charger from the clerk, and waited until my phone turned on. I didn't call them. I didn't text them. I called someone who hated them almost as much as I did because I knew something about Easton, something they never thought I'd use. And for once in my life, I was done protecting them. I was done protecting him, and I knew exactly where to start. The next morning, I woke up in a tiny Airbnb room above a retired widow's garage. I rented it with the emergency cash I kept hidden deep in my backpack. When the storm ended at 4 a.m. and the world was silent again, I sat up in that unfamiliar bed and I didn't cry. I felt hollow but alert. My chest didn't feel like it was caving in anymore. My hands weren't shaking. I actually felt awake in a way I never had before. My phone was blowing up with missed calls, not from my parents, not from Easton, from his gambling buddy Tyler. Because that betting loss Easton took, it wasn't even one bet. It was a chain. He was in deep with actual local organized bet runners in our town. Not mafia-level dangerous, but dangerous enough. I didn't owe them anything, but Easton absolutely did. When I didn't pick up, Tyler started texting me paragraphs. Your family told us you were covering it. Don't play dumb. You better handle this or there will be issues. I stared at the screen and I realized something so sick and so clarifying. My parents didn't ask me to pay. They told his bookie I would. They volunteered me. They actually offered me up like a sacrifice. I called Mia. She was my old co-worker from the diner I used to serve at back when I was 19. I hadn't talked to her in almost 3 years. She answered, breathless. Haley, what the hell? Are you okay? I told her in 2 minutes flat. No fluff, no sugarcoat. Storm, middle of the highway, thunder, dragged out, lightning deciding if trash lives. She didn't gasp in disbelief. She wasn't shocked. She just whispered, Of course they did. Because everyone who ever met my family knew what they were. She gave me the number of a detective she was now dating, not some deep government guy, a small-town fraud investigator who was obsessed with local illegal betting circuits. You know what that meant? There was a legal way to get Easton, not poetic, not metaphor, real, not revenge through humiliation, revenge through forceful responsibility. I met Detective Ryan 2 days later in a quiet strip mall cafe at 10 a.m. Rain drizzled lightly outside. He wore a flannel shirt and no badge on him physically. I told him about Easton, the illegal chains of bets, the money movement, the people involved, the fact they tried funneling new debt onto a family member. He took notes quietly. He asked me one question. You sure you want this? It's not pretty when this goes legal. You want to start something you cannot undo? And I said without one pause, I want consequences they can't talk themselves out of. He closed the notebook and said, Then I'll need proof. Names, chats, transaction screenshots, a connect to the runner Easton works with. I had all that already archived from previous times Easton bragged to me while drunk about his betting success. Texts, photos of winnings, names of middlemen. Now they would be used. 3 days passed. I stayed quiet, did not contact my parents. They didn't contact me either. Not one, "Are you alive?" That was fine. That silence helped. Then my roommate neighbor at the Airbnb told me my parents posted online that their ungrateful daughter abandoned the family after refusing to step up. Easton commented under it, laughing emojis. I didn't cry. I smiled. They thought I was weak. They thought I would crawl back. They thought fear would keep me small forever. Lightning didn't kill me. Lightning woke me. Ryan called me and told me he needed me for one last step. One sting setup. One meetup location. One recorded conversation. With Easton, he said flatly. To confirm his direct connection to the bookie names, we need his voice, not yours. I felt my lungs freeze, but this wasn't fear anymore. This was necessary. I agreed. We chose a public bar, early afternoon. Safe, empty, quiet. I texted Easton. I'll pay, I'll cover it. But I want to talk face to face. You owe me a real explanation. I deserve to hear it. He answered instantly. Finally. Smart move. He had no idea I wasn't coming for closure. I wasn't coming for guilt conversation. I wasn't coming to hear another lecture about being family servant. I was coming to record the end of their control over me, because this time, the storm wasn't outside. The storm was me. Easton walked into that bar in a hoodie, baseball cap, cocky grin like he was the golden boy of the universe walking into a celebration. He sat across from me with zero guilt, zero shame, zero apology. He genuinely believed I was there to fold like I always did. He thought I'd panic, hand cash, beg them to like me again. Good, he said, leaning back. I knew you'd come to your senses. Family always comes through. I stared at him with a calm face he had never seen before. I'm not paying the full $8,000, I said, voice flat. I'll give $5. That's it. He scoffed. You don't get to set terms. They do. I already told them you'd cover it. They're expecting you. Don't be stupid now. I leaned in closer so he could hear my heartbeat wasn't shaking at all. You set them up, not me. And then I said every single name of every runner, every phone contact, every middleman in his gambling chain. He froze. There was zero possible way I could know all those names unless I saved them, cataloged them, prepared. His eyes flicked around the room like someone just cut oxygen out of his lungs. Why did you memorize that? I didn't memorize it, I said. I documented it. He swallowed hard, panic blooming behind his pupils. Before he could stand, before he could walk away, before he could try to run, the bar door opened. Detective Ryan walked in. 2 more plainclothes officers walked behind him. Easton's body stiffened, his shoulders seized, his cheeks went pale like he saw lightning strike inches from his face. Ryan calmly showed his badge. Easton Miller, you're under arrest for illegal sports betting activity, laundering association, and fraud facilitation. Easton turned to me, eyes wide, voice trembling now. You're kidding. Haley, you wouldn't. I warned you for years, I said quietly, and you tried to leave me in a thunderstorm to die. Ryan said nothing poetic. He read his rights like a hammer slamming through the final nail of a coffin. Easton started begging, not to Ryan, to me. Call Mom, call Dad, tell them to handle it. They'll fix it. They'll take care of me. Please, Haley, please. I stood up, slid my purse over my shoulder, and stared him in the eyes. They would have rather watched me die on the pavement than pay $1 for me. Let them step up this time. And I walked out. Ryan came out after 10 minutes. He looked at me without judgment or pity. They're gonna flip when they get the call, he said. I nodded. They deserve that phone call. And oh, they did. Because within 6 hours, my father called me from a number I never saved. He didn't ask if I was okay. He didn't ask if I survived that highway. He only screamed, voice shaking. What did you do to your brother? He can't afford bail. They want money. Fix this. And I answered calm, not rageful, not emotional. Fix your own son. He's your responsibility, not mine. He tried to threaten. He tried to manipulate. He tried to guilt. But every tactic he ever used on me felt like dust now. He had no leverage anymore. You will regret this, he shouted. Mom told lightning to kill me, I said coldly. Regret ended there. Then I hung up. The next day, I blocked them all. I changed my number. I moved into a new apartment with Mia temporarily. 2 weeks later, I heard through town that my parents had to liquidate half their retirement funds to cover lawyer costs and fines because Easton was facing multiple counts, and this time they couldn't pin anything on me to escape it. They lost sleep. They lost money. They lost bragging rights. They lost their golden boy protection bubble. Their storm finally hit them. Not poetic, not symbolic, not silent. Actual consequences. And I finally felt what real self-worth feels like. When someone shows you they'd rather leave you in a thunderstorm to die, you stop trying to be the sunshine for them. You become your own lightning, and I never looked back. Please subscribe to our channel and tell us in comments from where are you watching this video.